Hey, boss, he ain't working.
Follow the money. When it comes to fraud, we got to continue to follow the money. Millions of dollars of cash flowing through the Somali Minnesota fraud scandal. Let's review.
For Somali-led organizations with alleged ties to the massive fraud scandal. Now, as the FBI pushes forward with its own investigation, one key question arises. What does accountability even look like in this case moving forward? So joining us now to talk about all of this and more is New York Congresswoman Claudia Tenney. Congresswoman, thanks so much for being with us tonight.
Great to be on with you, too. What a crazy time we're seeing here, aren't we?
Absolutely insanity. And I know oversight in the House is looking into these fraud allegations, but I wonder if it's even bigger than we have uncovered thus far. The $700 million in cash going out of the airports there. I have a feeling we are still just scratching the surface.
Yeah, it looks really bad and obviously very alarming to see that this U.S. cash has been legally going through our airports. And of course, there is a requirement of reporting if you're going to carry more than $10,000. There's a reporting requirement, but I think a really interesting part about this is isn't it going to be a little suspicious when you start seeing 10,000, 100,000, millions, and now, more, as John reported earlier, more money that goes through JFK, goes through the Minneapolis airport. Something's wrong there. And I think something that's very interesting that we impose on banks is that banks are required under banking law to require and file and keep track of what they call suspicious activity reports. This is something I think we need to do now when we see the large amounts of U.S. cash, and it's always U.S. cash. I mean, you're not going to see, Chinese yen or anything else going through there. And U.S. cash is king, and we need to certainly have this type of cash exchange reported. It's interesting because you see all this illegal immigration we've had over this time. And by the way, most of those Somalis that are in Minnesota probably came through a refugee program, and probably many of them are already legal American citizens. So suspicious activity reports, some kind of accounting for cash, I think would really be helpful. I'm looking at ways that we might be able to do this so that we could actually look at what's going on. Banks are required to do that. Individuals are not. But I'll tell you, if I'm a TSA agent or anyone else and I see this kind of cash going through, and that you're able to report the amount of cash going through, that it's happening in plain sight. We're seeing corruption in plain sight. Most of the remittances that go back often go to these foreign countries, and there's substantial portions of their economy, whether it's Guatemala and Mexico and other countries. Their own workers are sending that money back. But this is at a level that is just unprecedented.
This is insane. The amount of fraudulent behavior. Because I think this is on Tim Walz. I think this is on Minnesota. I think this is on just negligence. And people have seen a way to just get over on the system over and over. And people are getting mad because they're finding fraud. But you can't get mad at someone for finding the fraud. Should be more upset about the fraudsters that are just continuously manipulating the system. So sending these remittances back home, and our tax dollars is going right out the door, pretty much. So it's not even circulating back into the United States. People got to start thinking about this. The fraud that they're uncovering is not even coming back into the United States. It's getting funneled right out up under taxpayers' noses because let's just be honest, we're naive and we don't question enough. A regular person wouldn't think about it just like that. And so we got to start taking these people accountable. I'm just shocked that no one found this suspicious in the airports. Nobody was calling red flags, or no banks didn't sound alarms. So I gotta believe that this goes higher. Why are no protocols in place to catch this? The amount that has come out of Minneapolis. Just think about it. One area in Minnesota, over $700 million have came out of this one area, and no red flags were made. Not from TSA, not from the banks. This is really a corrupt situation, and it's all coming at the expense of the taxpayers.
And I really think we need to look into a way to track that and to actually show that we can hold them accountable, and that type of suspicious activity leads to fraud, arrest, and what we're seeing unfold every day in Minnesota, which seems to get worse by the day.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete...
Yeah, no doubt about it. I want to ask about the two most common way illegal aliens, also legal aliens, by the way, legal residents of the United States, but move money out of the country, remittance payment centers, and of course these cash couriers like the ones that we're working out of the Minneapolis airport. Is there any thought in Congress to requiring that a remittance payment business or a cash courier ascertain and make sure that before they move money, the person that they're moving money from out of the United States is a lawful resident or citizen?
Yeah, I think that should be a requirement. And also they should have some kind of certification that you are a person that we can trust. Our intelligence forces have already vetted that you can be carrying these huge amounts of cash back and forth to other countries. And I don't think those types of laws are in place. And I think that's a really good way to start having accountability and also tracking where this cash leaving the United States is going. And look what it would have led to had we paid attention to this over the last 10 years and what you reported earlier on $700 million. I mean, that's almost $1 billion going, I think it was 700 million going, through an airport in Minneapolis, not JFK. Amazing, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And that was in just 2 years, right. 350 million a year.
Or 2 years,
$1 million a day. $1 million a day going out of the country from Minneapolis.
And by the way, where is it going? Where is the cash landing when it's there? Is it going to Boko Haram? Is it going to these terrorist organizations that are involved with, with our enemies? I mean, this is important too. Where is the cash going? I know.
Like, we got to follow the money. We got to follow the patterns. And for this to be going on for so long, for years, unchecked, is a problem. For this to be going on for years is a problem, because for them to have funneled this much money through one airport is egregious behavior. And this, and people feel like that, Somalis are being attacked or Minnesota is being attacked. Like, the proof is in the pudding. This can't continue to be overlooked. I don't feel like it's a coincidence what's transpiring right in our faces in real time. And the people that allowed this to happen, whether they knew it or not, need to be held accountable, because this is pure negligence and looking the other way, in my opinion. It should never even got this far. People are human. It's going to be fraud committed. We have fraud in every state. We have fraud on every level. But the amount and the way it's been perpetuated shows clearly that these people were exercising this through a loophole. And they knew nothing was going to come of it because of the lesser penalties around Minnesota. No one questioned anything. I mean, when we peel back, this is just getting more and more shocking by the day. But y'all tell me what y'all think. This your boy Mercy. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I'm out.